What is coral bleaching? Coral bleaching is a phenomenon that occurs when coral reefs lose their vibrant colors and turn pale or white, caused by environmental stress, particularly an increase in water temperatures. However, when corals experience higher than normal water temperatures or other stressors such as pollution or changes in water chemistry, they expel the algae from their tissues that help them for photosynthesis and provide colors. This expulsion results in whitening of coral, hence the term bleaching. Coral bleaching is an alarming consequence of climate change, as rising ocean temperatures associated with global warming are a primary driver of bleaching events, including other factors such as pollution, overfishing, and ocean acidification, can further contribute to the bleaching of corals. Factors causing coral bleaching. Coral bleaching is primarily caused by environmental stressors. The most significant is elevated water temperature. However, there are several other factors that can contribute to coral bleaching. Here are some of the key factors. 1. Elevated water temperatures. 2. Climate change. 3. Ocean acidification. 4. Solar radiation. 5. Pollution. 6. Overfishing and destructive practices. 7. Natural disasters. Consequences of coral bleaching. Coral bleaching has significant consequences for coral reefs and the broader marine ecosystem. Here are some of the key consequences. 1. Coral mortality. 2. Biodiversity loss. 3. Economic impact. 4. Shoreline protection. Healthy coral reefs act as natural barriers, providing protection to coastlines against storms, wave energy, and erosion. 5. Loss of medicinal compounds. 6. Carbon sink reduction. How to stop coral bleaching? Stopping coral bleaching requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the underlying causes and provides protection and restoration measures for coral reefs. They are as follows. 1. Combat climate change. The primary driver of coral bleaching is the increase in ocean temperatures associated with climate change. Taking steps to reduce greenhouse gas emissions is crucial. This includes transitioning to cleaner energy sources, promoting energy efficiency, and advocating for climate policies at local, national, and international levels. 2. Marine protected areas. Establishing and effectively managing marine protected areas, MPAs, can provide critical protection to coral reefs. MPAs help reduce direct stressors such as overfishing, destructive fishing practices, and pollution. Well-designed and enforced MPAs can enhance the resilience of coral reefs and allow for natural recovery from bleaching events. 3. Reduce pollution. Reducing land-based sources of pollution, such as agricultural runoff and wastewater discharge, is essential to protect coral reefs. Implementing proper waste management practices, promoting sustainable agriculture, and minimizing the use of harmful chemicals can help maintain water quality and reduce stress on corals. 4. Sustainable fishing practices. 5. Coral reef restoration. Active coral reef restoration efforts can help rehabilitate damaged or degraded reefs. Techniques such as coral gardening, coral transplantation, and artificial reef structures can assist in rebuilding coral populations. 6. Public awareness and education. 7. Sustainable tourism. Encouraging sustainable tourism practices can help reduce the impacts on coral reefs. 8. Research and monitoring. Continuous monitoring and research are essential to understand the health and dynamics of coral reefs. The Indian government has recognized the importance of coral protection and has taken various initiatives to safeguard its coral reefs. Here are some measures undertaken by the Indian government for coral protection. 1. Marine protected areas. The Indian government has established several marine protected areas, MPAs, and marine reserves to protect coral reefs and associated ecosystems. For example, the Gulf of Mannar Marine National Park in Tamil Nadu and the Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands are designated protected areas that encompass coral reef habitats. 2. Coral reef monitoring and research. The government supports scientific research and monitoring programs to assess the health and status of coral reefs in India. This includes initiatives by research institutions, government agencies, and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to monitor coral bleaching events, biodiversity, water quality, and reef resilience. 3. Conservation policies and regulations. The Indian government has implemented policies and regulations to protect coral reefs and associated ecosystems. These include the Coastal Regulation Zone (CRZ) notification, which restricts certain activities near coastal areas, and the Wildlife Protection Act, which offers legal protection to marine species, including coral. 4. Capacity building and awareness. The government promotes capacity building programs and awareness campaigns to educate local communities, stakeholders, and tourists about the importance of coral reef conservation. These initiatives aim to foster sustainable practices, responsible tourism, and the involvement of local communities in coral protection efforts. 5. International collaboration. The Indian government actively participates in international collaborations and partnerships to address coral reef conservation. It engages in regional and global initiatives such as the International Coral Reef Initiative (ICRI), the Coral Triangle Initiative (CTI), and the Indian Ocean Rim Association (IORA) to exchange knowledge, share best practices, and enhance cooperation for coral reef protection. 6. Sustainable tourism practices. The government promotes sustainable tourism practices in coral reef areas. It encourages tour operators and tourists to follow guidelines for responsible snorkeling, diving, and boating, which minimize direct impacts on coral reefs and promote conservation awareness. 7. Restoration efforts. In certain locations, the government supports coral reef restoration projects. To prevent and mitigate coral bleaching, several precautionary schemes can be implemented. These schemes aim to address the underlying causes of bleaching and promote the resilience of coral reefs. Here are some precautionary measures. 1. Reduce greenhouse gas emissions. 2. Sustainable coastal development. 3. Protect critical habitat. 4. Sustainable fishing and fisheries management. 5. Pollution control. 6. Coral reef restoration and conservation. 7. Research and monitoring. 8. Public awareness and education. 9. Collaboration and partnerships. Here are some related questions that could be asked in your exams. Define coral bleaching in introduction. Describe reasons for coral bleaching. Suggest corrective measures to deal with coral bleaching. Discuss their significant role of corals in sustaining ocean ecosystem. Discuss the impact of climate change on corals. This was all for coral bleaching related editorial. Stay tuned with us for upcoming daily editorials.